how are you? It's Dr. Cruz from Design Your Destiny. How's it going? Are you designing your destiny yet? Well, today I have three things, which I called previously the three things I learned last month, but now I'm calling them secrets to designing your destiny because these are points of wisdom, things I've pondered on, things that I wish I knew growing up that I think would have really helped me design my destiny. And so I hope they help you design yours. Okay. All right. So the first thing I have is mingle, commune with, hang out, date, love only people that are going in the direction that you want to go in life. Okay. I'm going to repeat it. Mingle with, commune with, hang out with, date, and love, and marry. Maybe not love. We can love people, but don't hang out with them too much if they're not going in the direction you're going in. You can only really spend time with the people that are going in the direction that you want to go in if you want to maximize your capacity to get to where it is that you want to go. Okay? It's very important. We've all probably heard that your surroundings, the people you surround yourself with, are the most important influences on your life. That you will be the sixth of the five people that you hang out with, or the sixth of the average of the five people you hang out with. It's undisputable. So it's important that you really understand that, all right? So mingle with, commune, hang out, date, and marry. Only the people that are going in the direction in life that you want to go in. So that means you need to do some work. Figure out what direction in life you want to go in, okay? Do not try to force yourself into someone else's world or someone else's circle. Whether it's a group at church, at school, at work, you know within the first 15 seconds whether you belong in that person's life and whether that person belongs in your life. If you are in tune, if you are alert, if you are aware, if you are paying attention, if you are intuitive, you'll know immediately, I don't like their vibe. They don't seem quite right for me. I like what they're talking about. I like what they're doing. I like where they're coming from. I like their perspective. I like their energy. I like how they move. I like where they're going. I like what they're talking about. I like, just the general vibe of a person. What often happens is that we get so busy in life, running on autopilot, that we don't pause long enough to really listen to ourselves. If I knew when I was younger that all the answers I needed were already inside of me, that all I needed to do was have the faith and the courage to move in the direction that my spirit wanted to move in, and to have the courage to listen to my inner voice, to trust it, I could have did some amazing things. I could have been on track in life a lot earlier. Instead, what I did was I looked for confirmation, for friendship, for love. We're social beings. We do that, right? And it's not like I purposely looked out. I was like, I want to go find love today. That's not what we do, right? But instinctually, we are seeking what it is that humanly we need, our primal needs. A sense of community, a sense of safety, a sense of love, a sense of certainty, a sense of identity, friendship. And what happens is we're outwardly focused. And so we're preoccupied with social media, with other people's opinions, with this, with that, with the other thing, with our family, with what they want, where they're going, and what our family history was. And it can take you off track because they are not the beacon for your future. your inner voices. So if you're going to get around people, and we all need to get around people, make sure they're going in the direction that you want to go in for your future, okay? Start building, this is funny, start building your empire at 12 years old. Now, I am far, far from 12 years old. But what I've learned is that people who start very early in life become successful very early in life. And they have a lot of space and time where no one's really paying attention, and it doesn't really matter because you're a kid, that you could screw up, right? As opposed to if you screw up as an adult when you're married and you got kids, then you have some stuff to lose, and you got people paying the consequences in addition to you, right? So start building your empire at 12 years old. So if you're beyond 12 years old, there's a couple things I want to say. Number one, the best time to have started your empire was at 12 years old. But the second best time is right now. Right now you have control over. Right now is in your possession. You control what time you wake up. You control what activities you do. You control the people you surround yourself with. You control your thoughts. You control, or you can control them. Whether you do or not is another story. But you can control your perspective on life. You can control what you're interested in. You can control where your focus goes. You can control where you spend your money. You can control how much money you earn. You can control where you travel. You can control how well you take care of yourself. You can control the things that you do that help to build an empire. So what you have going for you that the 12-year-old does not is you have more wisdom, you have more experience, and you probably know how to make things happen quicker because you've had some life experiences. And so you know how to dip and dodge certain things that aren't important. Whereas a 12-year-old might take the long route to achieve something, you have the wisdom to not take so long. Okay? But I don't know, these days the kids got the internet and their family and stuff like that. So they might have some wisdom too now. But, okay, so the things that you want to do, especially if you're younger, you want to start doing things that build your self-confidence. That is, hands down number one. If you have the confidence, the skill set and the talent and the training and all that will come along. But you got to get the confidence. And how do you get confidence? By repetition. And the more people you can get out in front of, the more confidence you'll have. Okay? So public speaking is a phenomenal way to start building self-confidence because you get comfortable in your own skin, you get comfortable in your movement, you get comfortable with eye contact, you get comfortable with just speaking, off the top of your head. You get comfortable with relating to people. You get comfortable with yourself. But if you're always in your room or at home or playing a video game, you're not building self-confidence at all. Okay? Not the kind that's important when you want to build an empire. Take calculated risks. Calculated risks are very important. You don't want to take uncalculated risks because, if you're beyond 12, the one thing that you don't have that they have is as much time to recuperate from loss. So you want to make sure that your risk-taking is calculated. Volunteer. So as you're building your empire, I really recommend volunteering to do something, to help someone, because it makes you a better person. It brings out awareness that you otherwise may not tap into when you volunteer to help people. You get to see how other people live. And usually it's worse off than you. So then it increases your amount of gratitude. And gratitude is so powerful. If you spend time in gratitude, It retrains the circuitry of your brain. Okay? It's a superpower. Be the best. Be excellent, and if you can't be excellent, be outstanding, because outstanding is better than excellent. But excellent is great too. Okay? So have the intention to be excellent, and have the intention to be outstanding. All right? Impeccable with your words. This challenges you to consciously think before you speak, which is a skill everyone should have. There is a book called The Four Agreements, and it has a section in there on being impeccable with your words. I was in the UK. I was in London last year, and I took, I forget what they call it, punting the boat in the I don't know, it's not a lagoon, like a river or whatever that they have in London, and the guy standing on the back, you know, and I think they call it punting, right? You also see it in Venice. But what I didn't know is he was an actor from Harry Potter, from one of the Harry Potters. He was the younger Harry Potter, like the teenager. I don't know, one of the Harry Potters. No, actually, he wasn't a Harry Potter. He was just in the Harry Potter movie. And I was so petrified by being on this little canoe boat with this guy punting, because I don't know what's in that water. I don't really get in the water. I love water, but I don't really mess around with getting tipped over and all that. Like, that's not my thing. So this guy was talking, and he was fascinating. His conversation, he had the best conversation that I ever heard in my life. He knew so much. He spoke impeccably. Just, my God, the way he just articulated things. It wasn't that he was too brainy, but he just knew some stuff. He was talking to me about Stephen Hawking, who is a professor at one of the colleges there. When we were going down this river, you know, all the colleges were to our left and right. And so we had like, Cambridge University, which I think actually goes by a different name. They have like different colleges that's a part of Cambridge. And, oh gosh, I don't know, whatever colleges they have out there, right? The one that Newton went to. But it was so fascinating, right? So all these phenomenal people attended these colleges and these universities. And I think in the UK they call universities colleges. And this guy was just behind me talking and talking. And had I been sitting the other way to look at him, I would have been more captivated. But because I was sitting this way toward the water, I was petrified. So I missed most of what he was talking about. But I remember it was the most wonderful conversation I'd ever heard in my life, because he was impeccable with his words. I'll never forget that guy. He really, really, really impressed me. All right, so number 3, you're not just here to blend with people. You're here to identify your calling. Exude excellence in that calling and use it to help people and advance the hearts within people. Too many people are searching for love and acceptance first to fill a void, but it's by identifying your calling and using that as a platform to help people that you then will receive the love and connection with people that you seek. Yes, yes, yes. So let's talk about that. You are not here just to blend with people and take up space. Okay? You were born, you were created from the Most High God. The universe, the energy, whatever your conceptualization of God is, whatever it is that you conceptualize created you, also created every star in the sky, everything on this planet. And if you think about the phenomenal creations that we are a mist. And not only are we the highest thinking species on this earth, so that speaks a lot about, our capabilities. But imagine the power you must have if you were created from such a powerful being, such a powerful energy, whatever it is that you want to call it, God, the universe, the creative mind, the all-knowing, the all-powerful, the great I am, created everything in this universe. How the stars stay in the sky, how it rains and thunders and lightnings, and even the power of awful things like tsunamis and hurricanes and tornadoes and avalanches. The fact that we have 100 billion neurons in our brain and over 1 trillion connections in our brain. It's fascinating. The fact that you can break a nail and it regrows. The fact that if you lose one sense, your brain will take over somewhere else to compensate for that sense. So like seeing, if you can't see, another sense will take over. It's fascinating. The capacity and the capability and the potential that we're made of. So you weren't born just to blend with people and do nothing and waste space, okay? You're here to identify your calling. You have a purpose. And you figure it out by listening inside of you. What do you feel? What are you attracted to? What are you called to? What yearns from inside of you? What would you do for free, as they say, for the rest of your life? What would you do for free? Your calling. How can you use that to contribute to society, to advance the hearts of people? Whether it's being friendly to them, solving one of their problems, loving on them, being kind to them, making them feel better in some way, making their life easier, showing more compassion. What is your calling that's going to be able to help other people? Because when you can connect your calling to helping people in society, you blend those two powers together, and then synergetically things begin to happen that you cannot even dream. Never did I think that I would end up in Okinawa, living on the East China Sea. But that happened because I connected to my calling, which is being a therapist to help people. That's how I got here. Had I been working in other areas of my life, maybe I would not have been here. So think about what it is that you're here to do. You have work to do. You have a purpose. It's not just to waste away playing video games, doing nothing. Don't contribute to activities that disempower you. Domestic abuse, alcoholism, drug addiction, obsessive video game playing, obsessive TV watching. Those are escapisms. You have a calling. And once you connect to it, you'll never be bored again in your life. I guarantee it. Okay? So these are my 3 secrets to designing your destiny. And I pray that you do design it, because it'll be the most fascinating, fabulous, exciting life that you'll ever live. There's no life more exciting than the one that you were created to live. You just got to figure out what life that is. I'm Dr. Cruz from Design Your Destiny. And if you want to learn more, you can go to my website, capricruz.com. see you next time.